Okay. This is Animal Paradise. This is Animal Paradise himself. I'm here today. I'm relaxing somewhere. I always relax here, so I want to take time to talk about some little things concerning goat farming. Majorly, we at Animal Paradise, we do goats. We do goats, and goats. We do goats, and there are different breeds of goats. We have the Kalahari goats. There is the Boer goats. The Kalahari goat is the brownish goats. It's brown, or you can call it brown, you can call it red, but it's brown in color, all brown. And then it has long ears. I'm going to show some pictures of it in this video. Meanwhile, allow me to give some praise to my wife. She's the one helping me to do the editing of the videos. Some of my videos you're watching, you'll see some pictures, you'll see some other smaller videos within the video, like the last one I made. I was talking, and then she was putting videos of the pellets feed and the pellet machine making the feed on the video. She knows how to do that very well, and she's one editing of the video. So thank you very much, my lovely wife, for editing that for me. And then she's going to edit this one too. She's going to put a picture of Kalahari. We have the Kalahari in the goat system. We have the Boer goats. The Boer goat is brown head, white body, and then long ears. The two ears will meet under the jaw, and under the jaw of the goat, the two ears will meet under. That's what I mean by long ears. It's long. And then here in Nigeria, we have the Sahelian goats. We consider it now as a Nigerian breed because there are many in Nigeria. They are coming from Niger. If you go upper Nigeria, upward towards the north, Niger borders Nigeria. So any of those states, Sokoto, Katsina, many of those states, the Sahel goats is very many there, and the farmers are always in that borders. The border between Nigeria and the Niger, the farmers are always there. The reason why most of them put their farms there is for them to access the Nigerian markets, and they look as if the Nigerian market is a little bit more lucrative for them, because based on what we are seeing now, goat farming is increasing in Nigeria. Yes, the number of people going into goat farming here in Nigeria is increasing, and those guys have been in the system for a long time, but more demand is coming from the Nigerian angle. For we breeders, we go there and pick the animals. We see good quality animals, we pick it. And when those guys that are buying for slaughter, where they'll be looking for cheaper animals that are reared in the villages, we are looking for those who have best breeding practice in a farm. So we assess the farms, we look at what they are doing there, how they are doing what they are doing, and then we say, okay, we want to buy from you because we see that you're doing it well. You're giving good management to the goats, and then you have a record. Some of them have records, some of them don't have record. The ones in the villages, it's just like in the southern Nigeria also, where we have goats in the villages, and then we also have farms, and the farms have record. The goats in the villages don't have record. So they see that we are coming more, and they are paying more attention to us, because we are not only looking for animals, we are looking for quality animals that we can use for breeding. The way you select breeding animals is not the way you select slaughter animals. Slaughter animals is all about the size, how big it is. Breeding animals is all about how healthy it is. A goat that is healthy and small today, after spending 3 months with me, will be healthy and big. A goat that is big today is made for markets. So the way the slaughter people select their goats is not the way we breeders look for our goats. The slaughter people can get any goat from anywhere. We don't get any goat from anywhere. We look for people who have taken time to institute quality into the goats, and people who have imbibed good quality, good practice in their farm, and we get animals from them. as you see me. So we have the Sahel that is coming from the J, and then we also have the Sokoto Red. The Sokoto Red. The Sokoto Red is common. We call it Sokoto Red. It's a brown goat that has all the colors are brown, but they call it Sokoto Red. And then they are everywhere in Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, in western Nigeria. They are there. They're everywhere in Nigeria. The most of the times they use it for slaughter for these Yoruba people that cook their amala stuff. They call it ogufe. Yeah, they slaughter them, they eat them. Those are the Sokoto Red. Then we have the Nigerian dwarf. Nigerian dwarf is my favorite. They are my favorite kind of animals. There's a woman that used to laugh at me. You say my shorts must more goats. I like them. They are most friendly. The Nigerian dwarf. They are the common goats in southern Nigeria. We have it in the east, we have it in the west, we have it in the south. They are the short, friendly, short, intelligent, short, lovely goats that we have in the south. If a Nigerian dwarf stays with you for some time, you'll be hearing what you are saying. You'll be communicating with it. After some time, you have a kind of a communicative relationship with the goats. You give it a name, you call its name, it will hear you, and it will answer you. Listen, they have their uniqueness, and that's the Nigerian dwarf. Nigerian dwarf goats. So we do goats, and all these ones we have mentioned, they are the breeds available here in Nigeria. Commonly available. Some people may have the savannah, but it's not popular. What are the advantages of breeding goats? What are the advantages of breeding goats? Sometimes when we say the advantages, to us who are goat farmers, farming goats is our life. Farming goats is our life. So it's just like waking up, living your normal life. And we don't see stress in it. We don't see stress. We don't see disadvantages. We don't see any problem in the goat system itself. We don't see. Doing goats gives us pleasure. Doing goats makes us happy. And that's one of the things you consider when trying to start a livestock business. Do what you love. Do what you love. And do what you love. It's when you have gained ground. Like one of the points I'm going to talk about today, building your farm. When you have gained ground in one particular livestock, you want to venture into another one, you still take time to research and go find out all the do's and the don'ts in it and do it. And someone like me, as easy as poultry farming is, I cannot do poultry. It's so easy, but I don't have passion for it. And the same thing with pigs. I so much love pigs. I love pigs. I can't do pig farming. Sometimes we buy fish barbecue. There's this catfish barbecue we do. Everybody enjoys it. I like fish, but I can't do fish farming. I can't because it's not in me. It's not in me. And so most times the people will need to do what is in you. It is what is in you that will give you the challenge, the ability to overcome the challenges that is in the system. There's a system. When you have that thing inside you, the love and the passion for those ruminants, either goats, sheep, and cows, they are the same thing. Goat, sheep, and cows are the same thing. And if you have the love for them, you will not see the challenges. I say you won't see the challenges. And now someone says, which one should I do? I think someone called me recently and asked which one should I do. I explained the differences in all those the farming. If you're going to be doing boilers and layers is a short time thing. You're going to get your money back in a short time, but don't also forget that you're going to be feeding them. A bag of layer feed now, I think they said it's about 22,000. If you have 3,000 beds or points of lay, you have 3,000 beds. Maybe you're going to be spending close to 1 million naira to feed them in 10 days, which is approximately like 100,000 in one section. I'm not so sure that 5 bags of feed can feed 3,000 beds, and 5 bags of feed is more or less like 100,000. It's more or less like 100,000. And if you feel, okay, let us say you even feed it with 5 bags a day, that's 100,000 a day. 10 days is 1 million. And then you're going to do 3 months. So you're going to be spending millions of naira to buy the feed to feed them. If they are small, they will eat less, but as they're getting bigger, the more they eat, the faster they grow, and that more they eat is the more you spend. So that's one of the challenges involved in poultry. And some persons were having issues in this last December. People who have reared boilers, and some were using the language like, I just want to say they make I get money where I buy feed. I just want to say they make I get money where I buy feed. Because after they finished feeding the birds, they saw that the money they put in feeding the birds, if you calculate it divided by the number of birds that are remaining, you may end up selling one for as high as 30,000, and many people were not willing to buy animals as high as 30,000 naira for one fowl or one chicken. Are you seeing it? And meanwhile, the producer spends money in it. The same thing with a pig. I used to say that those days when Nigeria was in Nigeria, that an average pig will eat 1,000 a day. A pig will eat 1,000 a day. You have to buy PKC, you have to buy brewery waste, you have to buy all the feed materials that they need. Now, it is said that pigs grow fast. All animals grow fast. Are you seeing it? Pigs grow fast because they eat more. The quantity of feed you will feed in and the nutrition in it is what will make it grow fast. If you bring a pig and keep it somewhere and you're giving it small food, it will not grow fast. It won't grow fast. Okay, so it's your ability to load them with food or feed that will enhance their growth. It's in all animals. And where you are rearing an animal that consumes feeds that cost you much, and that's when problem comes. Are you seeing it? So pigs eat much and poultry eats much. The same thing with catfish. I think a bag of catfish now is still almost the same, like 20-something thousand or even 29,000. I think someone says so for a bag. How many animals, how many fish will eat one bag in a day? And if you finish doing all these things, what percentage is the profit? Let us say one bag is 29,000. 10 bags is 290,000. How many days will they eat 10 bags? Are you seeing it? And then, what is the profit margin? And so we know that those people doing it are still making it. Yes, they are still making it very well. But you have to have money to maintain them. Your salary or whatever other business you're having need to be producing money to buy the feed to feed them before they start producing money to buy their feed. If you're having boilers, you got to be bringing the money to feed them from somewhere. Layers can lay the eggs, you sell the eggs, you buy their feed. Fish also, I'm not so sure fish can lay the eggs. fish can lay the eggs. So you just got to have money from somewhere to be buying their feed and feeding them. Are you seeing it? Feeding them. Now move down to ruminants. If you get a land minimum 5 acres and then you get 1.5 million naira to buy grasses and plant in the 5 acres, that 5 acres you will partition them, we call it paddocks. You partition them one acre. That 1 acre you plant everything that needs to be planted in that 1 acre. You plant it in 1 acre, the number 1 acre, number 2 acre, number 3 acre, number 4 acre, number 5 acre. You partition them into paddocks. Each paddock will be 1 acre. You get money and you get 100 goats. In January, you bring out your 100 goats. Let them enter into paddock 1 acre. The paddock 1 is 1 acre. They will be eating in paddock 1 acre. Remember, it's 1.5 million naira used in buying those grasses. You plant them, they germinate and they are growing. You may not need to plant anything again, because as they eat that grass, the grass will regrow by itself. naturally to regrow. You plant the grass again, they eat again, the grass will grow by itself. They eat, the grass will grow. They eat, the grass will grow. All you need is to regulate how they eat, where they eat, how they eat and where they eat from, so that they will not eat it anyhow. So in January, I'm using an example as January, you open them, they enter into paddock 1, which is 1 acre of land, or whatever measurement of land you have. You can have less than that, less than 1 acre of land as paddock 1, and also have less number of animals. I'm just using an example. They enter into paddock 1 and they eat. They will not finish the grass in 1 acre in 2 weeks, even though they are eating there every day. They will eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And because you are regulating the paddocks, they are going to be eating everything there. Goats like to waste. And when they eat what they like to eat and they enter there, they will eat what is available again. So at the end, they will maximize paddock 1. They can maximize paddock 1 maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Anyhow, relocate them from there to paddock 2. Then paddock 1 will be regrowing. You see the advantage is ruminant farming. Paddock 1 will be regrowing. It's just land. And then you can get lands from areas where lands are cheap. We cannot get 5 acres in town. It's going to be some of those community areas. I don't want to use the word bush. So they enter paddock 2 and they are eating. Let us say February, if paddock 1 was able to take them for 4 months. And then the animals you are rearing is what will determine how far or how long your paddocks be. Some people ask a question, which measurement of land can feed 100 goats for 1 month? It doesn't work based like that. It doesn't work like that. The breeds you are having will determine. If you have the Nigerian dwarf don't eat much. They don't eat much. When I mean they don't eat much, I will explain. As I'm explaining, you understand what I mean by they don't eat much. The quantity of feed they eat is not high. They just eat small, and they are okay. The Sokoto Red, they eat more than the Nigerian dwarf. The Nigerian dwarf will pick one from here, pick one from there, pick one from there, they'll be moving up and down, be picking. The Sokoto Red will stay in one circle and be munching everything he's seeing in that circle. He will be eating it. They eat much more than the Nigerian dwarf. And then the Sahelian goats eat more than the 2 other breeds, the Sokoto Red and the Nigerian dwarf. They eat more than them. They stay in one place and they eat, and they are also bigger in structure. Most times, the problem that the Sahelian goats are having is feeding. They don't get much feed when they come to the south that will make their body grow as it should grow. And the Sahelian goat is a big animal. It's very bigger than the Sokoto Red and the Nigeria, very bigger than them. They used to be as high as half a cow. They used to be big, especially the male of it, even the female of it, they used to be big. But they need food to get to that bigness. They need much food every day to get to that bigness. Are you seeing it? If you release, maybe you have a herd of Nigerian dwarf, Sokoto Red and the Sahelian. If you release all of them out, I'm sure to tell you, in 1 hour, 20 minutes, it's not even up to, in 1 hour, the Nigerian dwarf will come back to come and lie down. It's not even up to 1 hour, 30 minutes. They will come back to come and relax, chewing their mouths. The Sokoto Red will not come back on time. They will still be there. The Sahel will not come back. They will not come back. They will be eating and eating, and you will be the one to go and look for them. They will just be eating and eating along. The inability to feed them based on their requirements, their feed requirements, is what make most people say that they are skeleton animal, they are slim, they are skinny, they are thin, they are skinny. If you meet up their feed requirements, they are a little bit bulky. And even though they are not as fatty as the Nigerian dwarf, they are a little bit bulky, and they used to grow high and grow big, but they need food. So the animals you have is what will determine how long your paddock will last. If you have more of the Sahelian, your paddock may not last long, because once they enter there, they continue to eat. And the Sahel, the Sokoto Red may not eat as much as that than the Nigerian dwarf. And then as they are eating, if there is any drop of rain, the Nigerian dwarf is coming back home. They like wahala. They know they like me somebody wahala him, but in the wahala somebody. He doesn't like any trouble, any external trouble from anybody, but he wants to give you trouble. Yes, he wants to give you trouble. Let me explain that. Take for instance, you lock them inside the compound. He will be looking for a way to escape. After it has escaped, it will not run away. It will come to you to tell you he has escaped. He will come out of the fence and come and meet you where you are to see him that he has escaped. Then you put him back inside the cage again and lock him. He will see escape again and come and show you to you that he has escaped. Not that he escaped and he ran away to somewhere he wants to go. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He just want to tell you, I'm a stubborn rascal animal and I will disturb you. They have a great personality. Actually, the Nigerian dwarf, they have a great personality. You like them. You know, so those are the differences. And then when it comes to feeding, they don't eat much. They always like to go around and make trouble. They'll be going around everywhere, go to where you don't want them to go. That's just, I don't know how God was able to make them like that. And if you keep them somewhere, you say they should not eat this particular thing, that's where they always want to go. If you not bring that thing for them to eat, they will leave it and go somewhere else. Then the Sokoto Red, they stay in one place and eat. The Sahelian, they eat morning till night. They're always eating. And if you can make food available for them, that always eating will make them grow. It will make them grow big. Are you seeing it? To make them grow big. So if you put them in paddock 1 January, they eat. The breed will determine how long the paddock will last. It can last 3 weeks, it can last 4 weeks. You take them to paddock 2, they will eat. You take them to paddock 3, they will eat. When they are eating in paddock 2, paddock 1 is regrowing. Paddock 3, 4, 5 is growing higher and higher, thicker and thicker. So we're going to get much volume from a small space. Much volume from a per square meter because they are growing thicker and taller. Are you seeing it? Then you bring them to paddock 2. Month 3, you bring them to paddock 3. They'll be eating. Paddock 1, 2 is recovering. By the time you see that paddock 5 has grown very well, you can cut paddock 5 for hay or cut paddock 5 for silage. It's still them that is going to eat it. By the time you now make paddock 4, I'm sure to tell you, as at when you make paddock 4, paddock 3, paddock 1 is ready again for them to come and be eaten. Are you seeing it? Then paddock 5, which you kept for extra, can go for silage or for hay, depends on what you're able to do. And then you will have feeding these animals every day of the year. It's just 1.5 million you use in planting grass, or 3 million, or 4 million they use in planting grass. That 4 million used in planting grass forever and ever, forever and ever and ever. For all the time you'll be doing your ruminant farming, you will not plant again. A poultry farmer will spend that 4 million at most 2 months. If you have 33,000 birds, you're going to feed them with as high as ₦1 million in 10 days, 2 million in 20 days, and 1 month is maybe 3 million. I know you make it back from eggs, but if you convert it, your profits may be like 20% or 30%. Why the ruminant farmer spend that money once in a lifetime? And those grasses, when you are finally established them in your land, they won't live there again. Even though fire enters the bush and burn it, at the spring of rain, that same grass will come up again, especially bracharia. And that's why you see us propagating bracharia very well. Bracharia has its advantage for us. It has its advantage to us. I see it has its advantage to us. So it will spring up again. And God so helping you, you have borehole in your farm. You are able to put water in all these paddocks and wet them. If you have bracharia in it and you wet them, you will have grass all through the year. So when they are eating paddock 1, you are wetting paddock 2, 3, 4, 5. You can get sprinklers. You can get the rain gun. There's a gun for irrigation. You pump the water into it, it spring out. And you can also do any kind of thing. You can use hose. Hose, yes. You can use hose. You can use plastic pipe to take underground water to the center of the paddocks. Each of the paddocks, you take water to the center, and then you get hose at the center to go around the edges of the same paddock. I seen it. You can get a 100-meter hose If a paddock is 200 feet by 200 feet, by the time you stay at the center, if it's 206 feet square, you stay at the center, it's going to be 100 feet to the right, 100 feet to the left, 100 feet to the front, 100 feet to the back. So if you put a plastic pipe or underground pipe to the center of each paddock, water gets there. You just get a hose of 200 feet and you will wet each of the paddock, every nook and crannies of each of the paddocks. All you need, you can even employ a worker. His own job is to wet the paddock morning, afternoon, evening, the 5 paddocks. So he can spend 2 hours in each paddock every in the morning. 6 o'clock he spend 2 hours, 8 o'clock another paddock, another paddock, another paddock. He rotates it like that. If it's 2 times, can do it again, or 3 times a day. The paddocks will be wet. If they are wet, dry season not get any disadvantage. If you have borehole in your farm and you're able to wet your grasses, you'll be having green grass in the dry season. Green grass, just let the wetting be much. Wet them much. Let they wet it for a long time. The ground will be soaked and have water, not showering water, sprinkling water. The sun will come and dry it off, but the wetting will be thick in the ground. It will take time and wet it thick. The grass, the essence is for the grass to have water. So give the grass water, irrespective of how many millions you spend in buying and planting the grass. You will not buy and plant again. You're welcome. You will not buy and plant again. Are you seeing it? So this is one of the major advantage of ruminants over others. And then others need strict and intense management. Like poultry needs cleaning, hygiene, and all those stuff. The hygiene is high. This demanding. Why goats? It's not demanding. It's just sweep the place. That's all. The goats takes care of themselves, and fowl doesn't take care of themselves. You take care of them. You give them food, you give them water. And pigs need you to take care of them. You're going to feed them, bath them, and then you wash their pen. Pig pen, they wash it every day. And people walk in pig pen is different from people walk in goatry. In goatry, you just sweep. You don't wash the pen with disinfectants every day. In pig farming, you wash it with disinfectants every day. I know the pig farmers are still cashing out. I'm not favoring one livestock farm over another, and no one is more important than anyone. It's just the one your inner spirit or inner power can carry you to do, and the one you have passion and love for. That's the one you do. And so, but for we, goat farming is not stressful for us. I have every day for myself. I'm a goat farmer. I have every day for myself. Every day. I can sleep and wake up when I like. I don't have to stress myself. Apart from when the goat needs, we need to check that we need to deworm them, and then just look at them generally. Every other thing we do is for fun. And the spraying of the animals, we used to contend for who we spray. Either me or the workers or this or that, or sometimes my children want to spray, and allowing the children to spray is the highest fun they can ever have. It's the highest fun they can ever have. Are you seeing it? And it's just fun every day. Fun every day. So goat farming to us, to me, Animal Paradise, is a lovely venture. It's a venture that gives you happiness. Yeah. And then they give birth. If God help you, you are able to see 10 pieces of baby goats together in one day. You will never forget the scene. When you see them running and jumping, there's a way they used to jump. They'll jump with their 2 legs sideways. And God help you, they're not 20 or they're not 30 or they're not 50. You're like, wow, all these lovely things. You'll just be enjoying yourself with goat farming. I said it. So goat farming is most lucrative, not just financially. It has other kinds of benefits, other kinds of advantages, and you'll be happy. It doesn't stress you. The only labor in goat farming is just sweep their pen, and God help you, it's dry season. You release them in the morning. You allow their urine to even dry sometimes. Around 12, 11, you go and sweep. You just use broom to be rolling the pellets shit away. You just roll it, you just pack it, you get rid of it. That's goat farming. But poultry, the area will be smelling. Your neighbor will not come and say, oh God, this your poultry is smelling. We cannot even eat in our house anymore. We used to lock door and lock window. The same thing with pig. We will say, this your poultry is smelling. Oh, yes. We used to lock our doors and lock our window when we are eating everywhere smelling. But goats, I have goats in the back of the house, where in the compound where I'm living. I live at the front. In the back, my goat stays there. They don't smell. In my goat pen, we eat there. We eat inside our pen. We buy food when we are going from town. We buy food. When we get to our pen, when it's time to eat, you bring out your food, you'll be eating. It doesn't smell. And I think for all the years I've been doing goat farming, it's only one time I had smell in my pen when I was coming. The guys were not sweeping. As I was getting close to, I said, they are smelling. You guys didn't sweep. Before we ever even opened the pen, and we saw that they've not swept, they smell the odor. And only once. If you're sweeping every day, you don't get that odor. I seen it. So goat farming is good, it's lucrative, it's enjoyable. But another point I want to talk about is that you must build your farm. Yes, you must build your farm. When I use the word build your farm, I'm not talking about buying land, building the pen, building the workers' quarters, putting borehole, fencing it. That is a different kind of building. It's a different kind of building. Just as every business, you have to build your business. That's how you have to also build your goat farm. You build the management. You build the goats themselves to be compatible and compatible with your projects. You build it, then you build your workers. This is what I mean. Take for instance, you employ 5 workers at the beginning. You, the goat farmer, you have a vision. You know what you want. You get 5 workers. Out of the 5 workers, 3 of them are not giving you what you want. You're going to get rid of 3 and keep 2. That's what I mean by building. You've selected the ones that can function with your dream. Then out of the 3, 1 is not doing well, 1 is doing well, 1 is not doing well. You correct him. You change him. Bring another person who can function well, another striker or a defender who can function well in your projects, in your goat farming. And then over the years, you now begin to see that after sieving, you will now get some workers who you see that can work with you for a long time. You have built those workers and you train them. You teach them. Training simply means teaching them the do's and don'ts of your farm. Teaching them the do's and don'ts of your farm, because the do's and don'ts of your farm is not the do's and don'ts of our farm. It's not the do's and don'ts of another person's farm. So you just have to build your workers to fall in line with your principles, your philosophies, and your modus operandi in your farm. That's what I mean by building. Not necessarily teaching them how to give injection. You can teach them how to give injection and they'll fall out of the line. You waste that knowledge. We experience that a lot of the time. So you teach them how to function in your farm. If in your farm, there are some farms that the workers attend to the animals in the morning. In our own farm, the workers don't attend to the animals in the morning. The animals goes out to graze by 10 a.m. in the morning. We train them to that point. There are some farms that feed their animals with pellets before grazing by 10. There are some farms that do that. There are some others who teach the animals to know that it is from 10 o'clock you go out to graze. So you will learn how to operate your own farm. In our farm, the workers wake up. The first thing we teach them to do is go and cook and eat. The workers will go and cook, they will eat, they will do anything they want to do. Once it is 10 o'clock, open the pen, let the goats go out, then sweep. Our goats graze, they'll go out and graze. Then you sweep. Sweeping, clean their water trough, give them water, then start patrolling to ensure that they don't run out of the pen. That's the pattern. And we also train our goats to that effect. We build the goats to understand that is when to eat. They will eat from dirty as they like and later go back in the evening. They eat from that morning tea when they get tired. The grasses are there for them to eat. That's how we build them. That is not the pattern in another person's farm. Another person has built his farm that 8 o'clock you give them food to eat, 10 o'clock you let them graze. For those that don't even graze, they say, okay, 10 o'clock you allow them, you give them this kind of food, you give them this kind of food. That is building your farm and letting your workers to understand it. And not that the worker who is working in my farm will not go to another person's farm and not tell them that when I'm coming from, the experience we have, we used to allow our animals to go out to graze by 10 o'clock in the morning. Meanwhile, these other animals have not been built to that effect. If you keep them in to 10 o'clock, you didn't feed them by 8 o'clock, some will have miscarriage because they were not built. They will expect food by 8 o'clock. They didn't see food. They'll start being agitated. They'll start being tensed up. In our place, if 10 o'clock you don't open the pen, I will know, because they're going to be shouting. Once it's 10, they know. They don't have work clock, but they know it's 10 o'clock. It's time to go out. Before that 10, all of them will lie down and just lie down in their different spots. Once it's 10, you will see all of them start standing up and coming close to the door, even though the door is locked. That's how they have been over the years. They've been built to that. They start coming over the door. If they wait for some time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you will see noise. Then the big ones will start hitting the door with their head. The Kalahari will start hitting the door with his head, hitting the door. They will start being troubled. They want to come out. It's time. They know when it's time. They won't do that by 9 o'clock. They won't do that by 8 o'clock. Did you get water to buy? They won't do that by 9, 10. So, but it's 10 they start doing that. So that is building your farm. Then the workers also will learn how to handle the animals. Any animal that is active and agile, and you see one day it's not active and agile, you have to report it on time. If the vet doctor is there, they'll tell him. The vet doctor used to come, they call him. If the farm owner is not around, if the farm owner is around, he attend to his animals. So you got to build the structure of the farm, build the management, build it and put it in line. Like I said, and I'm always saying, every farm has its uniqueness. You can have a mentor, but your farm is different from the farm of the mentor. And you can, because there are some things the mentor will be doing that you will not know. There are some things somebody you're following will be doing that you don't have the ability to do. You may not have the ability to do it. Are you seeing it? Take for instance, somebody was saying that they have bloods in their farm. We can't have, because of one small secret we're always doing, putting salt and magnesium inside their drinking water. It's a normal practice there. So we can't have. You may not know that. You may not see the essence of it. You may say, I have salt leak. I have salt leak in my farm. Mineral block. Many of the mineral block does not have mineral. That's why we don't use it. We call it mineral block. They don't have mineral. They are just one thing they just mix together and just, Nigerian thing now. And so most times you have to systematically find out how to get all these things into your animals by yourself. Not necessarily waiting that, okay, I bought mineral block. You can buy mineral block and put there, and there's no mineral in the block. They just mix one or two things together and add red color, and it is red or it is brown. Are you seeing it? So you're going to build your farm, build your animals. In building animals, there are mono-vaccinated, dwarf vaccinated, multiple vaccinated animals. Mono-vaccinated are those processes where people buy animals that are not vaccinated from villages or from anywhere. They just vaccinate them the first time. They just give them vaccine and they quarantine them and put them in farm and give them vaccine. Those animals is just 50% vaccinated. Each animal is 50% vaccinated. They are still going to be having symptoms. But if you vaccinate animals January, July you vaccinate, December or January you vaccinate, July you vaccinate. If you have done that many times, you have built the immune system of those animals to be very strong. We call them multiple vaccinated. You can transport that animal from anywhere to anywhere. You don't have to wait for seasons when you are stocking vaccinated animals, multiple vaccinated. You can stock them in the middle of the rainy season. You can even be bringing them from one place to another place. Better rain will beat their head. Nothing will do them. You just bring them down on fire for them and let them get hit. That's all. They won't have cough, they won't have catarrh. They are multiple vaccinated. You have built that hard on PPR. You have built them on pause. We have Ultra Choice 7 now. You can build them up also on Ultra Choice 7. You use it to vaccinate them over and over and over and over again. The immune system will not be kakaraka. To be kakaraka. You have built those animals. The only thing that can kill them now is knife, weapons of man's destruction. No disease can temper them. No virus can temper them, because you built them over the years. So you build your farm, you build your workers, you build your animals, and you will build your own philosophy. You build your philosophy. The farm owner must build his own philosophy. Build how you relate with your workers. We see some farm owners that unnecessarily nag, not because the workers are bad, but because they carry they call it misplaced aggression. When some other person offended you and maltreated you, and because you didn't see him to revenge on, you now carry that anger and that offense of the previous workers, and you're not expressing it on the workers that have not erred, because those workers have affected your character. You are not using it to deal with the ones that have not committed error. Just because the former ones were behaving like they were misbehaving, you now start nagging and shouting on the ones that have not done anything. Sometimes you will be the one to push them to become bad. Sometimes. Yeah, so you, the farm owner, have to still work and build your character and build yourself. You also build your finance. Yes, you build your finance on running the farm. We see sometimes when farms need something, the farmer doesn't have money to buy the things the farm needs. There are sections sometimes you have to break the warm load of a farm. If you have 100 animals, maybe you have to vaccinate them 3 times in 1 week. You have to then deworm them 3 days in this week and 3 days in next week. And one pack of ivermectin now is about 6,000 naira. One small 50 ml of ivermectin is 6,000, and if you're going to give to 2 ml, it's going to do 25 animals, and then you have 150 animals. So you're going to need like 6 bottles in first day, 6 bottles second day, 6 bottles third day, and then you're going to get other kind of liver misol and the calcium and multivitamin. And you're going to use this maybe like this week, you're going to use next week, and sometimes you're going to spend a high amount of money. Or maybe somehow you have PPRO outbreak, you have a higher numbers of animals that their vaccination were not tested and trusted, and before you know it, you have 70 animals with PPR. And because the whole animals in the farm are maybe like 100 or 120 or 150, you're going to treat all of them. It's not the only 70 that you see the symptoms today you will treat, because if you focus on that, next tomorrow, out of those that didn't have symptoms today will begin to have symptoms. So the treatment is going to be for all of them. I'm going to bounce about it. Sometimes it will weigh your pockets. It will weigh your pocket down. So you have to build your finances also. Keep some money for the management of the farm. Sometimes worker salaries are due. The farm owner doesn't have money to pay the salary. They begin to tell stories. I travel, they come, I know, I will send it. I go to POS, transfer is not working, bank is not working. You build your system. You build your system. God has helped us in Animal Paradise. We don't owe up. I've never owed anybody there. And some of my workers were even using it to be proud after they left. And that one of the reasons they like me is that I don't suffer them with money. I don't. I will pay you your money, do my job. If you don't do my job, get out. Before I employed you, I've prepared your money down, because I know I won't be available. Someone need to do it. I'll prepare your money down. And so the farmer need to build his finance. You build your finance to be able to run your farm in case of emergency and feed. And then you build your character. How do you relate with your workers? Are your workers angry? They shouldn't be angry. They are just working for you. One of the principles I have is that all men are equal. All men are equal. I somehow have built that in my system over the years. Never before we came into goat farming. I don't see one person more important than one person. Neither do I see myself more important than anybody. And so all men are equal. Someone that is a farmer working for you today. I grew up in Benin City. If you're in Benin City, you will know that everybody, we are all equal, and no rich, no poor. No rich, no poor in Benin City. The rich man can buy, the rich man can get money and buy Rolls Royce, because he's a big investor in Benin City. He buy Rolls Royce. Another person who was once living whose father and mother is living in a mud house can somehow find himself in Europe, and they will ship 5 Rolls Royce down to Benin to sell. You were a rich man, you made money and do business, you were a rainy businessman, you bought 1 Rolls Royce. This uneducated, he not go school, he not learn work, but now he has appeared in Europe. He will ship 5 Rolls Royce in container and come. You get Rolls Royce, himself get Rolls Royce. He was a poor man yesterday, but today he have 5 Rolls Royce. He have 5 Rolls Royce. Isn't it? So that's the reason why we in Benin, you cannot see Benin person being proud for a Benin person. And no, everybody knows everybody's equal. Nobody get money past anybody. And you can do your business and do your thing. You can be attain success from your own adventure, and another person will attain his own success from another angle. I've seen it. So learn to respect your workers. I didn't say worship them. Unnecessary shouting, unnecessary nagging, unnecessary insults is not necessary. As a farm owner, build your character, build your interpersonal relationship, build it. You have 1,000, you have 500 goats today. They're a good farmer. Tomorrow you can sell your goats, and the boy who was working with you can set up a goat farm in his village and also have 300 goats, while you have sold many of your goats. He can have 300 goats. So what you are today, the irrelevant person working for you can be that tomorrow. It can be. And so we know most of them misbehave, but we should not let their misbehavior influence us to start to misbehave. And we should not let their misbehavior influence us to not become insulting and nagging and unnecessarily using abusive language. I see some farm owners using abusive language. No. Some of the vet doctors we are working with today now, they can come in and be a vet doctor today. They are just starting. They are young men. Many of them are less than 30 years. Before they are 50, what would they become? They can become the owner of one of the biggest farms in Nigeria. Easier field. They've been in the vet system, in the animal system before we knew them. And so now that we know them, because some of the vet doctors used to have issues, they used to have issues. And when you expect them to save some animals, some of them will just do one kind and allow the animal to die. I don't know why they used to do that. They just back up. And it will not be okay for you to be paying a vet doctor who is resident in the farm and animals are dying. There's one of them I had one time. I had to be the one to come and treat the mouth rot. The animal had issues, had injury in the mouth. That guy was with the animal for 5 days. For 5 days. I had to come to say, what is this? It's having mouth issues. Okay, give me cotton wool, give me spirit, give me this, give me that. He was there and paying him to attend to it, but he just left the animal. Why he did that, I don't know. He was attending to other animals, about 2 other animals. Not that I didn't have time to attend to this one. He just left that one too. But I attended to the animal by myself. I took it down to my house. Yeah, because before, if I don't have a vet doctor in the farm, if I go to farm and see some animals that are not okay, I know they need treatment for more than 1 day, and I can't stay in the farm, I'll take the animal home. When it's finally okay, I'll bring it back to the farm. So some of the vet doctors can actually have behaviors that can tempt you. That's why we have the word temptation in dictionary. Don't let your workers tempt you to begin to misbehave. And they can tempt you and you begin to misbehave. Don't let them tempt you. Don't let them tempt and influence your character in a negative way. This is Animal Paradise. I'm here today making this video. It's 50 minutes. I think I'm going to post it now. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Animal Paradise Farm. We talk on goats, everything goats, 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 and goats. Everything goats. We have our numbers there. It's a WhatsApp number. All the numbers are WhatsApp. You can call us, ask some questions. You can call us and join our mentorship club. We have Animal Paradise Mentorship Club. It's a registered club. You pay to join the club. And in the club, you get many more advantages. If you call on WhatsApp, we will tell the advantages of being in the club, but you have to pay to join it. It's not free. And so we have Animal Paradise Facebook. like our page on Facebook, and then help us to share our videos to different platforms. Let people see and know how lovely and beautiful goat farming can be. Thank you for watching my videos. Bye bye.